Hills are one of the biggest running challenges you'll face, which doesn't mean that you need to be afraid of them. It just means that you need to prepare for them. In fact, many runners look forward to running hills because it helps build their strength and power. And with training, it gives them an edge over their competition.
We are going to look at running uphill and downhill separately because they are very different skills to master.
To explain how to effectively run up hills, we're going to look at two separate issues. We'll start by looking at your running form in a biomechanical sense. We'll then look at your strategy for running uphill. With regards to running form, the key to running uphill is keeping your body in alignment, which means keeping your butt tucked in so that your hips are aligned with your shoulders, which helps you stop from leaning into the hill. This causes you to lose considerable amount of push-off power. Something to keep in mind, though, is that although maintaining a straight upper body position gives you more push-off power, it has a tendency to place more strain on your lower legs, and so it's essential you have a good strengthening and stretching regime in place. Tucking your butt or hips is a pretty hard thing to visualize. This is how it works. Start by standing with your feet about 6 inches apart. Place your hands on your hips and squeeze your butt cheeks together. This lifts your pelvis and tucks your hips.
Of course, it would be hard to run with your butt clenched all the time, but this shows you the basic position. In order to hold it naturally, you will need to work on your core strength.
As your legs tire, you can increase the swing of your arms to carry some of the effort. It might surprise you how much help your arms can actually be. Just be careful not to overuse your arms.
To explain the strategy that you use for running uphill, we use the acronym REST, R-E-S-T.
R stands for relax. As you approach the hill, take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, and relax. You don't want to be tight as you head uphill. As you begin climbing, know that it's normal to feel your heart jump into your throat and keep as consistent and rhythmic a breathing rate as possible.
If you are racing, try to avoid thinking about the pain. Instead, focus on how well you prepared for the hills. If you can do that, you've won half the battle.
E stands for effort. In general, you want to maintain the same amount of effort on a hill that you have for the rest of the run. If you ramp up your effort, you're only going to pay for it later. Of course, this is going to mean that your pace will slow down as you climb, and that's okay.
On very steep hills, it might not be possible to keep the effort the same and continuing to make progress, but keep your effort as even as possible. Something to note is that walking up a hill frequently takes more effort than running at a slower pace.
The S stands for stride, and when running uphill, it's important that you don't shorten your stride any more than the hill would naturally cause you to do. Your natural stride feels natural because it's the most comfortable and efficient for you. Use that efficiency to your advantage and keep your running rhythm going. Lastly, the T stands for taking the top. As you approach the top of the hill, increase your pace to keep your effort consistent.
If you have stayed relaxed, maintained a constant effort up the hill, and kept to your natural stride, you will be surprised how easy it is to get back to your natural pace.
If you're racing, you'll also find yourself cruising by those people that push too hard up the hill.
As with running uphill, the key to running downhill is to keep your body in alignment. When you're running downhill, the tendency is to lean back to control your speed, which causes you to hit hard and your knees to take the pounding, something they're not designed to do.
Keeping your body in alignment means keeping your shoulders and hips vertically aligned. This position prevents you from leaning back, but the problem is that it encourages acceleration down the hill. To control your speed, you'll use your quadriceps instead of your knees. In the early stages, you'll find your quads burn very easily when doing this, but they'll get stronger quickly and you'll be doing your knees a big favor. Another way to control your speed downhill is to use a tactic that downhill skiers use, which is to carve sweeping turns down the hill. By making sweeping, carving turns down the hill, you'll effectively reduce the gradient of the hill, which makes it easier to control your speed.